Welcome to a One Take Podcast, episode 154, the only podcast that is still doing podcast after Barbie and Oppenheimer came out.
True.
Just us. There are no other movie podcasts. Everyone else is on strike.
Yep.
Facts.
We're breaking the picket line for podcast.
Exactly. Many people have said that movies are just over after Barbie and Oppenheimer, and I'm here to tell you, no. There are there is one good, maybe two good movies, and a lot of shit to wade through right now. Just have they even released like the scores for that Talking Pets movie, Strays?
Oh God, I haven't even thought about
That comes out like tomorrow, and they haven't.
I'm
released
definitely
anything on
smoking weed in my house on one random night and watching that film. 100% chance.
when it
I
comes.
probably won't
when
see
it,
it in the movie theater though.
yeah, when it comes to VOD in 2 weeks, we're gonna be able to.
I don't know anyone who saw the trailer for that and was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go see that."
It got laughs in my theaters, but then all of a sudden it's like, oh wait, these super funny people are also on strike, so they can't promote the movie and do the thing. So I don't know anybody that's talking about it at all.
Yeah, that part really sucks.
Oh,
like literally all of our actors and actresses are just not doing anything, and of course it's because of the strike, but we're really starting to see the effects of that, and I think we're going to keep seeing it at the box office, including with Turtles.
Blue Beetle is a big one.
Yeah,
right now.
That movie was going to flop anyway. Sorry.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, but it actually has good reviews so far, relatively, especially for a DC movie. But this
Mo saw it. She said it was great. She said she had a good time.
This should tell you we're probably going to see it, but
she also said the theater was empty, so you
know. Stray. This should tell you something about that Strays movie, and this is not the movie we're talking about. Most movies come out on Wednesday nights now, or Thursday morning, relatively. That review embargo has not lifted.
Nope. Bad sign.
That's not good.
Bad sign.
Anyway, this week we're actually talking about a really good movie. A couple weeks late on this, but it doesn't seem to matter because not enough people watched it to start with. So if you haven't watched it, go watch Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Mutant Mayhem. Came out just a couple of weeks ago. The new installment from Seth Rogen and company, actually, who continues to just take sort of, I mean, not to say that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles isn't one of the most popular comic book franchises of all time, but it's not necessarily on the level of the Marvel movies. So he's taking all of these tertiary sort of superheroes and making them into major franchises, and that's actually really interesting that he continues to do that.
Yeah.
So Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem came out a couple weeks ago. Rated PG, hour 39 minutes, breeze in the theater. 7.5 on IMDb. Number 5 ranked trending popularity movie right now. The film follows the Turtle brothers, as they work to earn the love of New York City while facing down an army of mutants. Directed by Jeff Rowe and Kyle Spears, written, of course, by the team of Seth Rogen, Evan Goldberg, and Jeff Rowe also has a writing credit. This also stars everyone in Hollywood, including Seth Rogen and Rose Byrne, uniting once again, as they always seem to do. But the cast of the Turtles are the ones that actually really get a lot of shine here. Voiced by people you may not have ever heard of, teenagers you may not have ever heard of. Micah Abbey as Donatello, Shannon Brown Jr. as Michelangelo, Nicholas Cantu as Leonardo, Brady Noon as Raphael, and Ayo Itabiri, who is now in everything, as April O'Neil.
Yeah, I'm here for it.
Love that for her. Our queen from The Bear. But yeah, everyone in Hollywood: Seth Rogen, John Cena, Maya Rudolph, Rose Byrne, Jackie Chan as Splinter, Giancarlo Esposito as Baxter Stockman, Ice Cube as Superfly, Paul Rudd, Hannibal Buress, Post Malone, Mr. Beast. T, do you know who Mr. Beast is?
Sorry, I'm having audio issues. I do know who Mr. Beast is, yes.
I know of Mr. Beast. I've still never watched one of his videos ever, and I don't think I ever will. But
same
you are the one.
Yeah. Apparently.
I'm just subscribed in case he gives me totally not clickbait. I gave a poor person $1 million sort of thing.
Didn't he host like a real life Squid Game or something? Wasn't that him?
He did do that.
Yeah, I was like, that's when I first heard of him, and I was like, this doesn't sound like my kind of thing. I'm okay.
He got popular on YouTube, by the way, of like doing a live stream of like counting to 1 million, something like that.
I will never understand live streaming culture other than the people who watch us live stream. But
he like his first ever video that got popular was like him counting to 1 million, and he somehow parlayed that into being like, I cured people's blindness.
Why would people want to watch someone count to 1 million?
Early YouTube, proto YouTube,
That is insane.
Charlie bit my finger,
And like that, what's that guy's name? Kai or whatever, who's like dumb popular. Every clip I see of his videos, I'm like, why do people like this? What is this?
Meanwhile, they're millionaires and we're nearly 30. Well, Tej is over 30, not to mention, but like
way over, unfortunately.
Podcasting about a children's movie that he is in. So there's that.
Yeah, there's that.
Good point.
Anyway, speaking of like box office numbers, everything kind of just got blown out of the water by Barbie. But that being said, I still don't know why this didn't do great numbers. Like, not to say it didn't make money. It's made $100 million worldwide, but it was like a $70 million budget for this movie based off an IP that everyone seems to love. And it just hasn't done well.
I guess, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm like just not the right person to be like super moved by Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Like, I know who and what they are, like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Like, yeah, it's like a thing. And all the old artist names or whatever. Like, yeah, I know what it is. But I've never in my life ever been excited about a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie. And so... yeah, I wasn't like,
y'all too young, bro. Y'all
oh my god, like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are back. Like, I went and saw it, obviously, but I wasn't like, yay, like I gotta go see that.
Y'all don't understand the hold that Turtles had on my generation, bro. So you don't understand.
I'm gonna let you talk about that, Tej, because you were really excited for this movie, and it just missed you and I. Like the huge animated show from like '89 was still going on when we were kids, but it like just missed our consciousness. And like, I like it because my mom is a weirdo and showed me that really dated 1993 first film,
incredible cinema,
where they're in like puppet costumes and voiced by people that aren't there. It's also not a kids movie, by the way.
No.
That movie. But this movie basically is made for Seth Rogen's generation. Mm-hmm. Of people that now have kids, which I'm shocked that those people didn't take their kids to go see the movie.
Same.
That's shocking to me.
Those people will be watching on Netflix or wherever this movie lands.
They will be. They will be.
It's Paramount. It's a Nickelodeon thing.
Yeah, it's Nickelodeon. So plenty of people will see it. I think that's the kind of genius of it, is that there's a lot in here for the Seth Rogen generation, the people that are my age who are obsessed with the Turtles, who went through their turtle phase as a kid and kind of never went away from it, because there's always been IP out there, either via movies or video games. Turtles was an extremely, extremely huge deal to my childhood. I watched that show all the time. I played all the video games. I watched all the movies. I've always been obsessed with them. And every kid that I knew that was my age also loved the Ninja Turtles. They were just everywhere. They were extremely popular when I was a kid. So to be able to tap into the fact that there's people out there like me who will always just walk into a turtle themed anything for the nostalgia reasons, to bring their kids who are really just like these kids from YouTube who are just like hanging out with each other and just riffing on stuff, putting those two things in the same movie and having something there for each individual, I'm going to chalk up their lack of success at the box office, and not to shit on making $100 million, obviously, but I'm going to attribute that to other things going on, including the writer's strike. I'm going to attribute that to other things because I think it's such a great idea. It makes perfect sense to be able to get these teenagers into the theater and to get these old people to the theater to go with them, and they could both enjoy a movie. And I thought that the movie sets itself up perfectly with that. That I enjoyed this movie a ton. There was enough in there for me as an old school turtle head, but I also, I don't watch the stuff on YouTube. That I have nephews that are 16, 17, for example. I don't watch the stuff that they watch on YouTube. I don't watch any of these popular streamers or these people. I don't watch Jake Paul videos. I don't watch any of that stuff that they watch on YouTube. So to have these kids that are kind of speaking this, like YouTube, they kind of speak like YouTubers, like they speak like people, like actual teenagers of today. Having the Turtles actually be teenagers of today, but also having enough nostalgia in there to make a person like me happy. It was everything I could imagine. It was hilarious. It was heartfelt. I cried at the end. Like, I had an amazing time in the movie theater. And it's so smart. Like you said, the kids are the ones they're carrying the heavy load. Seth Rogen and John Cena in this movie, and they barely have lines. Like, it's not like they are major parts of this particular film, which is awesome because those characters will be back for later in the universe, and you could always put more weight on them if you need to. But it was literally just these kids cooking. They were so likable. They were so enjoyable. Having Ayo, who's just amazing at everything, be here cooking with the cast with these YouTube kids are just riffing. The director of the movie said they would just have the kids in there and they would just let them riff for like 10 minutes and they wouldn't cut. And they would just put some of that stuff in the audio of like, this is how they talk to each other. They use these YouTube references. They're saying chopped cheese, bacon, egg, and cheese. Like, they're going crazy in the street. Like, that stuff is just because of the chemistry of these four
TikTok
kids.
lingo,
they're using TikTok lingo. Like, that's just these four kids who are kids of that generation, and they're speaking as they would as New York versions of teenagers. And it works so well to put that onto the Turtles' personality. The soundtrack is awesome. Hearing Annie up in a movie with the Turtles is just fucking, it's mind-blowing how incredible that is and how well that shit works. Putting ODB in like, this is speaking directly to me as somebody who's obsessed with New York hip-hop at this time, someone who's obsessed with the Ninja Turtles. That is giving me, as the old person in the movie theater, so much to deal with. And these kids might not even know Annie up, but they're going to know some of the stuff that the kids are saying. I just thought they did a great job with it. Ice Cube was mind-blowing. He was incredible. He pretty much plays the same character he played on 21 Jump Street, but it just it just works. Like, I had an incredible time with this movie.
I was really waiting for him to be like, "Shut the fuck up!" It never happened.
The scene where they realize that like these other mutants are their cousins, and so they have like this, he's when he's like, "Okay, so they go with the plan," and they're like, "What if we don't want to go with the plan?" And Ice Cube was just like, I forgot what the line was, but whatever he said with them was just like, "I'm about to go upside y'all head if y'all said y'all want to rock with us." Like, they're like, "Hey, Cuzzo, we're good." Like, I laughed hysterically during that. Like, I went to see this with a friend. We both were laughing hysterically during. There's about a 20-minute stretch of this movie where I missed every one-liner because I was laughing so hard in the movie theater. I had a great time with it. My movie theater wasn't that full, but the people in the theater, kids in the theater, adults in the theater, we had a great time. I would give this an A. I highly recommend it. And they're going to make it back when they hit streaming, and then the more people will go see the second one. We'll get more stars. We can still have Ice Cube pull up. Like, they had what they built it's just like Mario. I think that what they both accomplished was they built something that's foundationally so strong but so short. Like, they give you so little. Like, these are both hour-and-a-half movies. We have good villains. We have funny jokes. We give you a whole bunch of nostalgia. We get in, we get out, and we pull you into our larger universe. I thought they accomplished that perfectly. There's no one that's going to go watch this movie and not at least somewhat interested in tuning in for the next movie. I loved it. I gave it an A.
Well, this is a couple of things. This is better than Mario. Like, if we're just strictly going off of movies based on hype. Yeah,
hey,
this is
better.
Shit on
like,
Mario made
it is better than Mario, but let's not shit on Mario.
It is better than
please.
Mario. I'm not. Like, we sat here and we're like, that movie was
fine,
good for kids. Yeah, but it's like a B- at best. Like, this borders on A for me too. And like, there's a couple things working here. Is that one? This is the best reviewed Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles property ever
by a large margin.
Maybe
by the way.
Like, yeah, maybe outside of the 89 to like 96, I think is when that show ended, cartoon. But the first live action movie, just a little like film nerd history, was like one of the most highest grossing independent movies of all time. It made like $200 million off of like a $30 million budget.
Damn. Sick.
In
Jesus.
in 93. But that movie was basically made for adults, which is
it's a very adult
crazy
movie.
to think.
Yeah, it's
and you kind of go back and look at it and you're like, a lot of these have kind of been made for adults, especially those weird Michael Bay ones that came out, weird and bad Michael Bay ones that came out not too long ago.
Rare bad Michael Bay stuff. That stuff did not work. I love Michael Bay. It did not work.
But he actually never directed it, but it was like Bay light.
Yeah.
You know, it was like somebody was stood next to Michael Bay in line at a CVS, and they're like, "Let's make a movie."
I never even watched those, to be honest with you.
They're not good. They're not good.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, Johnny Knoxville is like the voice of like Leonardo.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
Like everybody, turtles have notoriously in movies at least been very grown. Like grown-ups are doing that, and so it seems like a easy idea. Let's actually get teenagers to play the turtles.
Yeah, they're called the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, but that is something very different. The other films do not focus on it. They're not teenagers. They're grown. They drink beer. They go out. They're making sex jokes. Like these are like obviously there are sex jokes in this movie, but like the whole milking thing is hilarious. But it's like this is a kids movie. These are sex jokes in a kids movie because these are actual teenagers versus making them. Johnny Knoxville is like 45. Like, why is he playing a teenage character? It really makes no sense, but that's what they've always done. So
I was saying, yeah, this is like the most well-reviewed movie of one of the best well-reviewed movies of the year. 97% on Rotten Tomatoes, 91% audience score. With its unique visual and story, visual style and story that captures the essence of the franchise's appeal, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem is an animated treat for the whole family. And I say all that to say, because of who is made for, who it was made by, how good it actually is, how well it was received, and it didn't technically flop. So enough people saw it to have what the first, and it's not as successful as the first Spider-Verse movie, but people forget that the first Spider-Verse movie wasn't the most successful thing on the planet for how well received it was, and it won the Oscar. Yep. And it wasn't until it got on Netflix that people were like, how come nobody told me about this movie? Yep. And it had a completely second life. Now, not that many people have Paramount Plus unless you're like 67 and you're watching
a lot
all
of people
the
have
Taylor Sheridan
Nickelodeon
universe.
They're watching Top Gun Maverick still.
That is, we were watching all the Mission Impossible movies on there. But you're right, Teach. This is probably going to have the second life, and they definitely want to make another 2 or 3 of these before these characters age out of this. But yeah, my review is, and Dex, I'll let you go in a second. I'll just continue on in my review. My review is exactly that. It felt like it was actually aimed and knew where it wanted to go. It was fun. I just had a really good time watching this movie. I will say it kind of is a little gross.
Yeah.
Like it looked like all the monsters are really like David Cronenberg, like Fly.
They're Frankenstein's monsters, like all of them.
Yeah. They're really kind of gross and grimy.
I love that.
And the art.
There's such a band of misfits. Scene where the scene where the turtles are amongst them is just, that's some of the funniest shit I've seen in the theater in a number of years. The kind of just like the mishmashes of relationships. Post Malone just randomly just singing for no reason.
Yeah.
I couldn't contain myself, man. That's some of the funniest shit that I've seen in a long time from a kids movie. I was literally like leaning over in my chair. I couldn't take it.
Yeah, and I think the art style is something that we haven't. I mean, at least I haven't seen. It's not like Mario where it's that super glossy 3D animation. It's sort of, I guess, like Spider-Verse, but it's like even more so drawn than that. Like you can see the pencil outlines almost.
The director said that he wanted it to look like teenagers drew the movie, like a teenagers sat down and drew the movie like they would go home and draw comics. And so you can kind of see the rough edges of the way that stuff is animated. and I think it just works for the world that they're trying to create. It really, really works. But even that's we keep alluding to Spider-Verse. There, like you could see, it's not like they're trying to hide. Like there are blatant homages to Spider-Verse. Like you could tell that they were very, very. They saw Spider-Verse and they really wanted to make their own version of it, because there's a lot of Spider-Verse into this film in terms of the way it's presented. But I thought that it was really smart, and it never felt like they're trying to, like, they're copying from Spider-Verse. It just felt like, oh, okay, they obviously have taken some stuff over from the Spider-Verse people, and everybody should be, and everybody really is in that world, because why wouldn't you? It's game changing.
Yeah, I think that the Rogan, and I mean, it's been special since the beginning. I mean, Dex had weird and bad opinions about Superbad, but like the
horrible opinions about Superbad.
That writing style and their joke telling and the way that they sort of have gone about the Apatow riffing method of letting people continue the joke is really good. He really has his finger, I think, on the pulse of why he liked these superhero comics back in like what made them stand out to him. And so you can really see when somebody really appreciates a property, how much love and care they put into it. And it seems like they kind of have a really good idea of what this is and what they wanted to make, and they executed it. And I thought it was just a really well done, funny, bordering on PG-13 at times, but PG romp at the theater that you could take. I would say at times it's kind of fucking scary too. Like if you took like a 7-year-old in there to see it, I think they may be a little frightened by the movie at times.
That's fair.
I'm not saying like parent your own way, whatever. It's a PG movie, but it is kind of like there's huge monsters destroying cities. Like they nearly get crushed, and it's just like it's kind of perilous at points. That last act and the last fight for New York or whatever, my heart was kind of racing a little bit, and I'm like, this is a cartoon.
Yeah.
But anyway, it does kind of jump. Some of the editing is a little wonky. They really at one point it felt like they cut like 5 scenes out of the movie and just pieced it together when they jump from being at this, or Splinter rescuing them, to going and trying to throw the machine into the water.
Oh.
It felt like they were just like, all right, now we're here. And it didn't make any sense, but it's a kid's movie, whatever. I gave it an A-. I don't think it's as good as Spider-Verse, but it's definitely probably the second best animated film of the year. It sucks because in any given year, I feel like this may win the Oscar for best animated picture.
I agree,
but it has no chance.
I thought the same exact thing as I walked out of the theater. I was like, it could easily be an Oscar winner in another year. But I watched the first 20 minutes of Spider-Verse 2 again randomly this weekend. I was like, this is some of the most beautiful. Like I could not believe how good the opening of the movie was, which really struck me in the theater. It's just Spider-Verse is operating on another level, and obviously that's their second movie, so like they're really operating on another level. So it's going to be hard for them to beat them at the Oscars. But still, great job by Seth and the team. Go ahead, Dex.
Yeah, I really like this movie as well. I wasn't quite as moved by it as y'all were. I'm more like a B+ kind of range, but it's still a really good time at the movies. It's hard to go wrong with something like this. They kind of stuck. They knew what they wanted to do, and they nailed it, in my opinion. I really liked the whole teenage aspect, like the whole "I want to be a real boy" of it all. It's just like that always works for me.
Yeah.
I want to go to high school. Like, the kids we watch on TV, like we've been living in a sewer our entire lives, and but we have the internet. Like that's a cool angle, I think. Like, yeah, we lived in a sewer and we've only seen like culture through YouTube,
TikTok.
TikTok. Yeah, like that's dope. And then like, they're like, oh, you go to high school, you must be so fucking cool. And they're like, wait, you're the girl who's like just vomited like doing the news? Like that's wow, you're a bum. Like like that's fun. That's a really cool angle. And then obviously like the mutant mayhem of it all, humans are all garbage and they hate us, and because we're different and they want to kill us or whatever. Superfly and Splinter being two sides of the same, or being two sides of the same coin.
Magneto, Professor X, basically, in terms of how you approach it when you're a mutant, but humans treat you differently.
Yeah, like all that is really cool to me.
I gave my guy the Jerry curl and the mustache too. From the that was really funny. Really funny character design.
Yeah, I liked all of that. The April O'Neil stuff for me, like parts of it worked, parts of it didn't. Like when she's like the butt of the joke is like when her character was the best, which feels bad to say, but like when she was like trying to have like heartfelt moments with the team or whatever, I was like, okay, I don't really care that much. Like, whatever. And then the action was a little up and down for me. That's like probably where I take off the most points. There were parts of it where I was like, I can't really tell what's happening. Like, like I can't see it.
Yeah, the garage fight scene was awesome, and then it was sort of devolved almost into like a CGI clusterfuck at the very end.
Like the big, like when he has like horse legs or whatever. I'm like, what is going on? What am I looking at right now?
I couldn't even tell. Like I knew he was a kaiju, but like at the part where like they shoot the little thing and it hits the one horse, he was like, I didn't need the horse. I was like, oh, I couldn't tell that like these individual horses made up his body. Like it hadn't rendered enough for me to be like, oh, I can see that. Like I understand that. So I agree with some of that.
Yeah. So like I take off a few points there, but overall, like it's hard. Like I said, it's hard to go wrong with a movie like this. Like I feel like at any point I can beat, like if someone was like, let's watch Mutant Mayhem, I'd be like, all right, yeah, like quick hour and a half, it's fun, a lot of laughs in here, heartfelt story, it's good. B+.
We didn't mention Paul Rudd or Jackie Chan also in this film.
Very funny. Yeah.
Paul Rudd just being like, I forget what he said when he stuck the stick into the brake and he was just like, not cool, man. Stuff like that is very like Paul Rudd. It's just like,
I thought we were vibing,
like,
man.
I thought we were vibing.
Can you drive? Yeah. Can you drive? No. This is stuff like that. I anything Paul Rudd is in automatically bumps points for me. Like, I'm not quite sure how good this new season of Only Murders in the Building is, but Paul Rudd's in it, so I'm like, I gotta pay attention.
I haven't started yet. I gotta get on that.
It is the same. There are murderers in the building.
More murders, more buildings.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't. There's probably a larger conversation to be had about animated films in general. Of course, we've seen kind of the lean into IP. Now you can get away with doing more with that IP in the animated space. Like you just can't make a live action Mario movie. They tried. It's horrendous. Like you just can't.
They never try that again. Ever.
Oh God. I mean, they're trying to make every little fucking piece of IP into a live action movie now after Barbie, but
it's interesting because Pixar, and we talked about this movie before, but that Elements movie, they just kind of kept it around and it became sort of a hit.
That's true.
Which is to say that I think that there's always a market for these films.
But they were also the only kids movie really at the box office for like a month and a half. And they got to really rake it in because people are just like, whatever, just go see what the kids want to see, and just hung around and made some money. Maybe Turtles can do something like that too.
Also, the movie is like cute and fine. I liked it. It's not like what was that last one that flopped, like Strange Planet or Strange World or whatever the fuck it was called.
Yeah, Strange
That
World.
movie stunk. But like Elementals or whatever it was called. That was Elemental. That was good.
Elemental. I still haven't seen it. I need to watch it.
Yeah, me either. And I don't know. I just think we're at an interesting place with animated films where obviously this year in animated films is now driven by IP. but it has since produced 2 of the best animated films in a long time. For Tej and I to say, but I don't know. I don't have a bigger point. I find that interesting.
I think it is interesting that for somehow Disney is like the one studio really doing original animated movies still, and it's like not working. Yeah. Like it's just
right.
Yeah, it's like they can't even get those off the ground right now. They have another one coming out the end of the year. I forget what it's called, but something about a wish or something. It might be called Wish, actually. Now I'm thinking about it, but
I'm not saying that Disney has to go to they make their own IP is the whole thing. But like something about it isn't resonating the way, and maybe it's just I saw people just say, they're kind of retreading on some things. Like Elemental obviously tackles different themes from this, but it is just Inside Out, like colors and shapes.
It felt like Inside Out. Every trailer, I was like, so this is just Inside Out, basically.
I mean, it's not.
I don't know.
But I can get why you would feel that way. But yeah, the story is like just completely different. Like the themes and stuff they're tackling are different. Like the vibe is different. But yeah, like I get it. The color palette wasn't switched up enough.
Yeah, I think it's just not necessarily. I say this, and then they made a movie completely about coping with death and your own mortality over the pandemic. But like, it's just the lack of chances. I think are piling up. I think for Pixar, and not necessarily the storytelling chances, but the animation style chances, as in they were the head of making digital animation. Like they made it a thing with Toy Story. Yeah. And I think people caught up a little
Can't
bit.
They just drop another Toy Story movie or another Monsters Inc. movie and get me right back to the movie theater? Like, why isn't that where we're going?
I mean, they're making another Toy Story movie, but that's not going to come out till 25 or whatever.
And we're bringing Mike Wazowski back. I'm in for that. I'm in. Anytime Mike Wazowski's around, I'm around. But it's something like both the new things have really missed. and it's just weird because Pixar had such a stranglehold on this space for so long. But if you look at like something like Spider-Verse and something like anything Pixar's done since Toy Story 4, we're not even talking about the same in terms of quality. We're not even talking about the same universes. Like we're not even close, bro. And that's bad for Pixar. That's not great.
They've had some good shit in there though. Like
I mean, Soul was fine, but
Soul,
it ain't no
Spider-Verse. I thought Soul was great. Turning Red was great.
I mean, we love Turning Red on this podcast.
Turning Red was really good. Okay, I'll give you that.
And like, they're really like the only people doing like new shit, which is crazy to say about Disney.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is like they make their own IP. They pave their own. They walk their own path. Yeah. But I think, to our eye, I mean, there was stuff in Soul that I was like, is that like they did? It looks like a photo. New York City. Yeah. Did they just shoot New York City? But like, I think to our eye, to our untrained eye, it looks a little stagnant comparatively to where they were.
Yeah, they don't have the comic book
going. Yeah, exactly. And I think people were looking for something new and vibrant. And and I think because of that, people have kind of soured on what Pixar is doing stylistically. Now, I'm not saying I still think continue making stories about important issues and things that people feel and emotions and things like that you're trying to convey, and stories like Turning Red that need to be told in the animated space.
I think that really
but
works.
It is just interesting.
But you gotta have something look different too. Sure, like part of the reason why some of this other stuff is working is because it just looks different. We're comparing, seeing something like Turtles or something like Spider-Verse against seeing the Pixar stuff, which largely looks the same. It's not like these movies look very different. Like you just said, there's no way you can see the trailer for Elemental and not think about Inside Out. There's just no way that your brain's going to make that connection, assuming you've seen Inside Out. And so I just think they need a different a different look in terms of animation style, and maybe not like the content will remain the same, but the animation style, unfortunately, has got to be a bit fresher to keep up with some of these other things that are people trying new shit and coming up with what they come up with.
Now, I'm not saying I'm almost like, we have talked about how we don't really care about IP movies and it doesn't bother us that much. After the news of all the Barbie stuff, I'm getting close, guys.
Yeah, Mattel being like, we're gonna just make every single product we've ever owned into a movie, and we're starting with fucking Lena Dunham. I was like, you know what?
That's nasty.
Let's fucking not, actually.
I might have made this point before, but I just don't understand. Even if that's the plan, why are you telling us that? Why do you think that we, after Barbie, we're still on the high, want to know that you're making a fucking Hot Wheels movie and a fucking casting Lena Dunham and stuff? That Polly Pocket, like, we don't care about Polly Pocket or Lena Dunham. And I don't understand why you announce them all like this as opposed to, you got one hit, but that doesn't mean that we want to watch a Hot Wheels movie. No disrespect. I don't care about the Hot Wheels.
Movie studios have to stop doing this thing where they put out like upcoming movies like it's a fucking college course syllabus. Like, I don't need that. Like, give me one thing at a time. Like, if they had just told me, okay, we did Barbie and we're coming with Polly Pocket next. Cool. Don't be like, we're working on Polly Pocket and Hot Wheels and G.I. Joe and blah, blah. Like, no, stop. Like, I don't need this.
Which one do you want to sign up for?
Just give me one fucking movie. All right. I'm tired of having homework.
Barbie is like a home run, but you show me you can hit a double, hit a triple. I don't know that, but at least show me that you can do that before you start shoving these other properties down my throat that I don't. Nobody, Polly Pocket, people don't care about it like Barbie. People don't care about Hot Wheels in the same way they cared about Barbie, even though you sold a lot of Hot Wheels toys. Like, there's still some kind of cultural touch point that matters, and Barbie's a different level of cultural touch point than other IP. It's just the way it works.
Yeah, I'm just already exhausted by like the number of things they were talking about making. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, we're over here having fun. You're giving us fucking work. Stop.
Remember to buy. Just buy. And it's just like, oh,
we understand that y'all making these movies really to sell toys and you get to collect twice. We understand it, but that doesn't mean that you can just do it once and then all of a sudden realize that you put us in like a pyramid scheme. Like, come on, bro. Like, we're not we don't love Mattel yet. We love Barbie, but we don't love Mattel at all. We don't. Sorry.
Also, bro, I can't go to the movie theaters dressed as fucking Hot Wheels. Like, that's not fun. Like, y'all saw all this shit that just happened with Barbie and Ken, and you're like, well, we heard you like brands. No, bitch.
We like Barbie.
We like Barbie and Ken.
Barbie, we love women. How about that? Do that first. Let's start there and work our way out.
Opposite of Barbie. Like, what are you going to do to make Hot Wheels make us feel warm and tender on the inside? Like, what issues are you tackling by you going to use racism as the color of the Hot Wheels? Like, what are we going to do with Hot Wheels? How are we going to elevate it?
It's all about family.
Hot, fast, hot, furious.
Too hot, two wheels.
I can't. Hot ones. Hot Wheels.
Eventually, they will make a Hot Ones movie. Just be prepared.
So, Drake, I heard that you like. I was like, how do you know that?
But anyway, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
Right. I don't have much more to say about this movie. I know we haven't podcasted in a long time, but I'm just like, I kind of came away with like, that was good and fun, and I don't need to think about it that much.
I can't wait to watch it again because, like I said, I miss jokes, but the jokes I did catch, they were hilarious. The movie is very self-aware. I think they've created something very fun. And again, I just feel like they have superpowers now in the universe that they haven't even used. John Cena barely gets anything to do. John Cena is one of the funniest people in Hollywood. Like, Paul Rudd is in the same cast as Seth Rogen. I'm also watching Platonic, so I have a lot of Seth Rogen going on in my life right now, and Rose Byrne. And so
I'm watching Botanic as well too.
It's good. It's good. They're doing good shit over there.
Should have been a movie.
It seemed like it would have been a movie when I first watched the trailer. I haven't watched the show yet. I'm behind on all my Apple TV Plus.
Seth, this movie should tell you things should be movies again, dude.
So I'm only 4 episodes in, but I haven't yet thought like, oh, this should have been a movie instead. I'm enjoying myself enough to think that this is why they probably just want to do Neighbors 3 because that's what they like to do together, but nobody would do Neighbors 3, so just like, fuck it, we'll do this TV show. But so far, so good.
You know why? Because Neighbors 2 sucked.
Neighbors 2 was a struggle.
I feel like if Platonic was a movie, it'd be just a very shitty Netflix movie, like on the same tier as that like Reese Witherspoon, Ashton Kutcher thing. Like,
no, it just that is the worst movie I've watched. That movie
Adam Kutcher is a bum, so that's not a good comparison. Ashton Kutcher is a bum. He's a bum.
That's gonna make my bottom 5 of the year. By the way,
it won't make mine.
I haven't really watched that many movies. That movie was offensive.
I'm gonna have to watch the Ana de Armas Chris Evans joint that they did, or was that?
Oh,
I'm gonna have to get to that just to like
where they weren't even in the Ghosted. They weren't even in the same place.
Just to feel alive, I'm gonna have to watch like this shitty movie at some point.
Is the Dracula movie on your bottom 5 list? Is that movie Snake?
What movie?
The Voyage of Demeter or whatever it's called.
Oh, I haven't seen it yet. I didn't get around to it.
Oh, I thought you were going to see that.
I thought I was
punted on that.
Yeah, so shit came up. I'm gonna try and see it this weekend, actually. But I've heard good things.
Yeah, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles should be around for a minute until they try to sell it for $28 on VOD or whatever, and then it'll be on Paramount.
28, but I am going to get re-up my Paramount Plus. I was watching all the Mission Impossible, so I think I still have it. So I'm just going to be over there when I get
it has been a pirate's life for me lately. I will say that. To the FBI agent watching this, no, it hasn't. Anyway, what else are we watching? I have a couple movies to report that I actually did catch up on. That, speaking of, were in theaters and then just dipped really quickly. Sisu and Joyride, 2 completely same movies, actually.
Yeah, extremely similar, actually.
Yep. Sisu rules. Hell yeah.
Can I stream it yet? I can't find it streaming yet.
Yeah, you can find it.
I don't mean a pirate.
I'll send you a link.
I guess I could do a pirate.
Oh, but yes, you can buy it on VOD.
No, see, I don't want to buy it. I want to stream it.
I don't know who even produced it. Like, it was a really truly independent movie, I think. But
that shit needs to come available, because that's definitely on my list of movies. As soon as somebody tells me where it's at, I'm going to go to watch Sisu. That
it looked kind of fucked. Ruled. That's why I didn't see it in theaters.
It is a little fucked. It's like it's kind of like more hardcore than John Wick.
Damn. I'm in.
Like, the fighting isn't as good as John Wick, and that's kind of what they sell it on. But it's like super gory. It's really, yeah. And Joyride, just a crazy time. What a wild movie.
I really wanted to see that in theaters, but I didn't get around to it, unfortunately. I'm definitely going to watch that.
Yeah, nobody did. Streaming. Our good girl Stephanie Sue is in it, and she is fucking going for it. This woman is nominated for an Oscar, and there are some parts in there where it's just like, did you know that you were going to get nominated for an Oscar when you signed up for this movie?
Oh, interesting.
It is. She is going for it in that movie. It's awesome. It's funny.
I mean, to be fair, the movie she got nominated for an Oscar for also features like a dildo fight.
True.
Like,
that's true. That's true.
Like,
but not her in the dildo fight.
Fair.
In this, she's like adjacent to the dildo fight. If you know what I mean. So it's just like she's around, but it is it's a wild time. It was worth seeing. I do wish I could have seen it in the theaters, but yeah, Joyride was.
We were watching No Hard Feelings.
I watched that weeks ago. I watched that when that came out.
Yeah,
stinks. Anyway, I've also been watching a lot of Anthony Bourdain, No Reservations, because that's all. Like, every single episode of that is on Max. So I don't know why, but that'll help you pass the time if you're just looking to do it. Anyway,
what are you watching next?
I've been watching a lot of Wicked Tuna. That's the show rules.
What the hell is Wicked Tuna?
It's a show.
Is that on Max?
It was on Nat Geo.
Discovery. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's literally just people fishing for tuna.
Yeah, but it's wicked. It's awesome.
It's like Deadliest Catch adjacent.
Got it.
Basically, it's like these people in like Massachusetts or something, I think, who like go out, like they do this for a living, right? They like own boats or whatever, and they have to go out and fish for tuna. They can only catch one a day because tuna are endangered or whatever. And they're like, it's really hard to catch tuna, and also like you never know how good the tuna you catch is going to be. Whatever. Anyway, I was at my mom's house.
One a day?
Yeah, they're endangered.
I had no idea tuna was in danger. I learned something.
Yeah, so I was at my mom's house one day, like, you know, just hanging out, talking, catching up with my mom, and Wicked Tuna just happened to be on TV. We sat there for like 8 hours watching Wicked Tuna back to back to back. It was awesome. So I kept watching it.
I love when cable was still a thing, and we would just watch like all day marathons of the Discovery Channel. Had a minute like Mike Rowe, Dirty Jobs, or Mythbusters. Like when they would have a Mythbusters marathon, we were glued to the couch. I don't know what that was.
Like if we had Bravo, like when I was living with my parents or whatever, we'd sit there and we'd watch like an entire season of Below Deck or whatever. It's like just because they just run it all day long. But yeah, I honestly have been kind of slacking when it comes to getting back to the movie theater. I haven't gone back to the movie theater since I watched Mutant Mayhem, but I did watch Theater Camp that same day, which I loved. So shout out to Theater Camp.
I gotta see Theater Camp. I'm very excited to see that.
There's not a lot of stuff that has been sort of. I mean, Talk to Me is going to be like a surprise, not a surprise success, but like another A24 success, and it's going to make $50 million on like a $5 million budget and be heralded as one of the best horror films of the year.
And will remain unseen by me.
Said no thanks. Like that Haunted Mansion. We haven't talked about this. How much
is it any good? I know that no one saw it, and I knew it was going to tank as soon as I saw the trailer. But did anyone is it actually good, or is it just bad?
I don't know.
I think the reviews are bad. The only person I know in real life who saw it actually liked it. But overall, the reviews are bad. 39% on Rotten Tomatoes. So.
Oh, yikes!
But yeah, I mean, I'll probably watch it eventually. It'll be on Disney Plus at some point, I'm sure. I'll turn it on. Why not? Whatever. But Theater Camp is good. If y'all haven't seen it, y'all should watch it. Very
I'm
funny.
Gonna watch that when they
very cute, very heartfelt. Teared up a little bit during the final song. Not gonna lie. Yeah, adorable little story about a struggling theater camp.
I want to see what I've been watching. I'm watching Platonic, like I said. I've been going through all the. We lost Dex. I don't know where Dex went. I've been watching Quarterback on Netflix. I've been watching Winning Time, which is the best show on TV right now. Wait, are you frozen too, Royden?
Oh, my bad.
Here?
Oh, what's up?
Okay, you're
all
here.
right.
I thought you were frozen because Dex is gone.
Okay. All right. Where did I leave off? What did I miss?
I was just listing what I was watching. I was watching Platonic. I'm watching Winning Time. What else I've been watching? I just finished Quarterback on Netflix. I've just been getting through documentaries and stuff and really bracing myself for the fact that we're about to lose a lot of TV. And so we really are going to have to lean into the classics, both in TV and film, to get us through. Because there's there's literally been no word of any kind of talks are heating up. Things are getting closer. It's literally just a stalemate right now. So we're about to hit the end of all the pre-recorded stuff or other stuff that was already ready before everybody stopped working. So I'm just bracing myself for that. But Winning Time is here. It's keeping me strong. And Platonic, I got to give Apple TV some credit. Although I've been watching Hijack, and I'm 2 episodes in. I'm just not into it.
That's a show.
Yeah,
I thought it was a movie.
I thought it was a movie.
It
It is like a 10-episode. Make things movies.
I would much rather this as a movie. I can already tell you right now through 2 episodes, this works better as a movie because 10 hours of literally the same flight, the same situation. I don't care what's going on the ground. I don't care about all these people. It's just it's I'm finding it hard to invest myself. Whereas Platonic is a much easier watch, and it's funny. I gotta watch Silo. I gotta watch Lioness.
Silo, very good.
I gotta watch Silo. I gotta watch Lioness. But that's basically what I've been going through over here.
I need to catch up on Physical because that I watched the first season of that show and I really liked it. And then the second season came out. And I was like, oh, I'll catch up to it eventually. And now they're on the third fucking season. I was like, when did that happen?
Most of their shows have been really well reviewed, except for Tom Holland's The Crowded Room, which is just a big L.
Yeah.
I know some people who really like Crowded Room, though. I know some people who were really into it. I have not seen it, but I definitely knew some people in real life who said they liked it. I think Apple's doing interesting stuff over there. I got to give them a lot more credit than I've given them in the past as I'm running through some of their shows. People are obsessed with The Morning Show. That's coming back for season 2. I've never seen it, but
season 3.
I kind of want to tap into
season
that.
3, yeah.
Season 3, sorry.
How much juice are they squeezing out of the Matt Lauer story? I don't know, but like that happened
It's crazy
10 years ago.
Apple, of all companies, really has a hard time like breaking into the zeitgeist. Like they have a Ted Lasso, but like that's about it. Like that really.
I think Severance is going to be the next thing. I really do. Like,
well, depending on what's happening on set, there's all this bad stuff coming out about behind the scenes drama between the show creators, and I hope they can get that resolved because I think Severance has the capacity to be a really, really, really big deal for them. And that first season is one of the best seasons of TV I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, unfortunately,
everything on Apple TV Plus is like if you know kind of shit. It's like, you can talk to people who will tell you like, oh, Dickinson's amazing, but it's like there's 7 of them in the entire world.
Yeah,
there are dozens of us that have watched hold on. Dozens of us. A show which, I'm not kidding, they spent hundreds of millions of dollars to make.
And they were so fucking excited about it. They were like, people fucking love Jason Momoa. We're going to make so much money. No, you're not.
Nobody saw that shit. What's our next episode about, y'all? What do y'all think is what's on the horizon?
Talk to me.
One thing I forgot to say that I watched recently was the fucking Johnny Manziel doc. That shit was nuts.
I watched that too, and it was fire. Johnny Manziel was going crazy, bro. He was
what they were able to squeeze into like an hour 15. Like that was nuts.
I need a 3, 4, 5 hour version of that pronto because I couldn't believe some of that shit.
Was it part of their Untold series?
Yeah, it's one of the Untolds. There's one coming out about the Florida Gators team with all the criminals and Aaron Hernandez, and I'm gonna be right there, seated on my couch when that shit drops. I love that. The
Pouncey twins.
The Pouncey twins.
The Aaron Hernandez is the criminal amongst criminals. It's all the criminals and Aaron Hernandez, the big guns, literally. Like
he's the kingpin. Everybody else is the henchman.
Oh man.
Everybody else is wild, but Aaron Hernandez, Jesus Christ.
Calm down.
Other people get into fights. Aaron Hernandez was literally catching bodies, bro. That's insane.
My favorite, I haven't seen the Manziel thing, but none of the clips that I've seen surprised me even a little bit.
You have to see it, bro.
I'm gonna watch
it. The moment that like fucked me up was when they were like, "Yeah, we completely made up that shit about my parents being rich." So y'all just all fell for it. I was like, "Yeah, they had me, dog." I just like accepted. I was like, "Yeah, that makes sense."
I just accepted it. Yes.
His parents are probably rich. That's why
I couldn't believe that. Money. When he said that, I had to rewind it. I was like, "Wait, I just bought that." Like, okay, like. His family's rich. What do I know? Like, I just bought it.
Yeah, wait, his family's not rich?
No, they made that up to keep the NCAA off their back. Everyone believed it. Reporters believed it. People just went with it.
I had a dude in college said that he grew up with him and said that he was rich. What the fuck?
His best friend, that was the one who was running the money up with him. That's the one who created the story.
I had a dude that went to school with him in college and said he was rich and a dick, and I didn't question it. I guess he was making it up too.
Only half true. Only half true.
Oh, yeah.
The part that really fucked me up is that he went out the night before. So he had to stay clean through the whole combine. His agent knew that he had been a drug user and going out drinking. So basically, he was being drug tested the whole between when he ended school and when he's preparing for the combine. he had to be clean. He made it through pretty much all of these 3 months clean. The week before the combine, he fucks up. He goes out, he gets drunk, he starts partying. The day before his actual throwing day at the combine, he's got his receivers with him that are going to run routes for him. He takes them all out. They get fucking hammered that night. Johnny wakes up chipper in the morning like he always did after a night of drinking and debauchery, ready to go. I'm going to go do my workout. The receivers are so drunk they cannot get out of bed. So his agent and his lawyer ran the routes for him, and he got drafted in the fucking first round. That's insane. He had his agent out there running routes for him.
Unreal.
And apparently he crushed it. Cleveland was like, yes, that's the guy we need.
At the actual combine, apparently he got so fucked up, right before the actual combine, that they were like, yeah, you're going to say your dad's in the fucking hospital and you can't be here. It's like, we can't have you embarrassing. I was like, fuck, dude, Johnny Manziel is a wild boy. Like, I already knew
wild
that,
life,
but
man.
god damn, man.
We say he lived a wild life, and you kind of look at it, he's only 32.
Yeah. And thank God that he made it that far, because some of that stuff in that doc makes you see that there were some other ways that life could have went, man. He was really going crazy.
Shit, man.
I'm gonna watch it.
Insane.
That doc is awesome.
I need a 5-hour version of that. Somebody needs to go pay Johnny Manziel right now to get a 4-episode version of that. I need it.
He's 30. That's unreal.
He's 30 years old, bro.
Oh my god.
Liver of an 80-year-old for sure.
I can't imagine being that famous at 18. Dex, you and I always say we would have just died.
Yeah, for sure.
His constitution's better than us.
It happened so fast. This dude was a relative nobody months before, and then like 4 months later, he had won the Heisman and he was partying with fucking Drake. That happened in this man's life with like a 5 or 6 month time span, from a nobody kicking around in College Station, Texas, to traveling the world with Drake. Like that's
I think it was Sting that said that it's really the first thing that ever like played out on Twitter.
Yeah, seriously. Like he was literally at the forefront of like this athlete who's not a pro athlete and is supposed to be broke, like is living his life literally on Twitter and in front of the whole world. It's just a crazy story. We knew about
everything right away, and we weren't used to that. And he was like the poster child for that, which is crazy.
I definitely
and maybe the worst person to have everybody watching him for every second of his life. He's probably the worst person to ever have that burden of like, oh shit, every time I leave my house, everyone's watching me. Not a good person for that to be bestowed upon.
Even just regular old me, both times that I went out to Northgate, I was getting fucked up, making terrible decisions. Like, I can't imagine being Johnny Manziel on North Map. Would not have made it.
Wouldn't have made it. Wouldn't be here talking to you kind folks right now. Be some other handsome white guy.
Crazy.
No, I think the next thing that we're gonna do, I kind of want to do Blue Beetle.
I'm down for Blue Beetle. I'm down for Talk to Me. And if we do Blue Beetle, it'll force me to go see Blue Beetle, which I'm perfectly fine with.
We'll give it our tens of dollars. How about that? We'll do Blue Beetle next.
There are dozens of us Blue Beetle watchers out there. There will be.
I will give it one of my AMC A-list reservations.
There was a tweet today. I'll see if I can find it. Somebody already screenshotted like the Dolby, seat reserves or whatever for Friday night. And it was 3 people in like a major the place that has Dolby. So it's just like, that's not good.
Not good.
I'm gonna check what it is for mine. The 7:00 Dolby showing. We've got about 15 people on there for tomorrow.
Oh wow, that's more than I thought. We are gonna be Blue Beetle watchers soon, guys.
Actually, you know what we're gonna do? We're just gonna Oppenheimer rewatch. Let's get it moving. Get it moving again. There's a lot of Killers of the Flower Moon talk going on out here,
cannot wait.
It's gonna. I think it's gonna be.
Can we just do like an Emily Blunt appreciation episode? Like we all just watch a different Emily Blunt movie and just come back.
What we need to do, and we talked about it kind of as a joke in the group message. Blindside rewatch.
Yikes. Hey, can y'all leave Sandra Bullock alone on the internet, guys?
Please.
Yeah,
It's
what
not
the
her
fuck
fucking
is
Sandra
fault.
Bullock is not at fault. All right.
Stop it, guys. Stop it.
Sandra
We're trying to
Bullock
take
did nothing
Sandra
but give
Bullock's
y'all cinema.
We're trying to take Sandra Bullock's Oscar for playing a problematic white woman, yet Roman Polanski has an Oscar for being an actual problematic person.
Yeah, Casey Affleck an Oscar. You're coming for Sandra Bullock.
Yeah, you need to stop that shit. Y'all need to
Sorry,
stop that right
problematic. I said problematic. Criminal. We were giving criminals Oscars. Yeah, Sandra Bullock was in Speed, and you're trying to besmirch this good woman's name. Unreal.
I will
Give
not
back
have
her
it.
Oscars. That's unreal. What was the Eddie Murphy joke is about when he accepted his award as his Mark Twain award when he made fun of Bill Cosby, and he said, you fucked up when they want you to give back your trophies. That's one of my favorite videos to go back and watch. It's him accepting an award, but just making fun of Bill Cosby, which is an incredible bit. Yeah, so we're gonna do Blue Beetle. I too kind of want to watch to see how it stands up. Probably not great.
I'm definitely gonna go see Talk to Me, even though we're not gonna talk about it because Dex doesn't want to watch Talk to Me at all.
Y'all can talk about it. Yeah, I'd say so.
Mini review Siege whenever I'm gonna go see it. I need to feel something. I think I need to feel something before it's out.
I've heard enough good shit about it. I need to go check that out. So I'm definitely gonna be watching that and Blue Beetle this week. Let's turn it up.
All right. So that has been a One Take podcast after a couple of weeks off in the summer. Hey guys, I just want to tell you, movie season, like we're kind of in a lull right now, but movie season is about to heat back up. After the Oscar season this year is when we should be worried, but this Oscar season I think is going to be a good one.
Facts.
So
Facts. And Killers of the Flower Moon is still coming, and we've already had a year of incredible cinema. I do also want to point out the fact that we've had more people join the Legion that is Babylon Hive. Stephen King tweeted about how amazing Babylon is, and we tried to tell Royden, but he did not listen to us. He did not listen to us. But we are Legion. We are here. We will never forget those times that we spent with Babylon. I still haven't seen it for a second time, but I can't fucking wait. I might run that shit tonight. That shit is real cinema.
One of the best things about the Barbie success is that people are revisiting Margot Robbie's old shit, and they're like, Babylon, incredible.
Incredible. She goes crazy in that performance.
Seeing that shit in the theater, they would have been disappointed, just like everybody else.
No, they wouldn't have. They would have the time of their life.
Now they're going.
They would have been like, Margot Robbie is her. Like, there's no way around it.
Facts.
Siege, I hope you have a pillow and a blanket because you are gonna be there for a while on that couch. The movie's so goddamn long.
I will not fall asleep. That is Margot. That is peak Margot Robbie for me in terms of performance. She is incredible in that film. And it's just great. And it's better than La La Land, by the way. And I still stand on that corner. I still stand there.
I can't go there. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so Oscar season coming up. Bradley Cooper making a push if he doesn't get canceled before then.
No, getting canceled will help you get the Oscar.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah. You have to have a little bit of controversy to get that fucking best actor win. People were like,
this is just the most little bit of controversy. Yeah, that like out of all the things.
Just a little bit. It's like, yeah, Mahershala Ali, can you win for Moonlight? Maybe, but you know what you're gonna win for? Fucking Green Book, the white savior movie. That'll get it done. Everyone's pissed that this movie exists. Here you go.
Yeah, Bradley Cooper, all of a sudden, you don't really know this, and we're rambling now, but he has like 10 Oscar nominations and no wins. So he's
due.
Yeah.
That is a pretty prominent note he has on that trailer. I'm sorry, guys. That shit is huge. I was like, come on, bros. What are we doing?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't even watch the trailer. I just know this movie exists, and I'm like,
the first thing that popped out to me was like, damn, Bradley Cooper's nose looks fucking insane in this trailer. That was the first thing I thought when I opened the clip.
Which we don't have to litigate this here. There's a lot of people mad about it online. The Bernstein family came out and like really like
they're like, no, we
supported it. Yeah,
They're like, actually, that's how our noses look. That's
my daddy got a big ass nose. I don't know what you want me to do. Y'all saw
it. Y'all saw it. Why y'all got never saw it?
Y'all like my daddy have a big ass nose. I saw that shit every day. I was like, damn, dad. Like,
what a crazy statement to have to put out. Anyway, my whole point was Bradley Cooper didn't even really have to do it. If you look at Bradley Cooper in real life, I don't know why he did that, but that's all beside the point. Yeah. Anyway, he did a Leonard Bernstein movie that got some press this week, and that's coming out this year during Oscar season.
It's a fucking Netflix movie, which kill me. Ugh.
We'll the thing that I noticed first about that movie was that it was in 4:3. No thanks. Bye. I'm good. Anyway. So we don't really have to talk about that controversy. Just know that the Bernstein family came out and was like, okay. So that's interesting. Anyway, Oscar season is upon us, but that has been a One Take podcast. One Take podcast on Twitter, One Take podcast on all the platforms, not on Threads. Follow us on Instagram, but not on Threads. Is that even still a thing?
Threads is dead. RIP Threads, RIP all those other ones. What were the other ones? Blue Sky, RIP to that.
Yeah. Anyway, it's still twitter.com, but X on your phone. So, Dex, what are we doing?
# support Florence Pugh.
All right. We shall. We're out.